Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. I'm Noah, and today I'm here with Davos, David, Faraz, and Lachlan. We'll head straight into the big ins and outs of the team list this week for Magic Round, starting with the big ins. Mitchell Barnett for the Knights makes a return after that lengthy 6-week suspension for the shoulder to the jaw. Payne Haas and Kurt Capewell return for the Broncos. Hamole Olakawatu returns for the Seagulls. Marcelo Montoya and Tohu Harris return for the Warriors. Connor Watson returns for the Roosters, and Luciano Leilua returns for the Tigers. Heading over to the big outs for this week, Pappenhausen is lost for the Storm this week against the reigning premiers, the Penrith Panthers. Cameron Murray is lost for the Rabbidos. Jared Croker is gone for the Raiders, and the Sharks lose Will Kennedy and Jesse Ramian due to suspensions, obviously with Will Kennedy getting sent off last round and Jesse Ramian going to the sin bin. We'll head into the predictions side of things this week. We'll start with Faraz for this one. Bulldogs versus Knights. Who did you tip? What margin and anytime try scorer?
Yeah, look, mate, I've gone Newcastle with no confidence at all. I'm just going Newcastle because the Dogs don't have a good record at Suncorp. I'm going to go the Knights by 6. I'm going to go a scoreline of 24 points to 18. I think a bit high scoring around there. And I'm going to go Aaron Script for a try, anytime try scorer. I think Newcastle will score first though.
That's a very good prediction. We'll go to Davos next. So same thing, Bulldogs versus Knights.
Yep, I've gone the Bulldogs to win 1-12. I have gone anytime try scorer, Matt Burton. I think he's been in very good form lately, and I think he'll cross over for a try.
That's very good predictions there. We'll go to Lachlan next.
So in this one, I've gone the Doggies. I mean, it could go either way, but I've gone the Doggies 1-12, and I've gone Matt Duffy to go over any time for the Bulldogs.
That's a very good pick, Matt Duffy. He hasn't been in greatest form this year for defensively, but attackingly he has been great. We'll go to David.
I've gone for the Bulldogs 1-12, and I've picked Addo-Carr as my anytime try scorer.
Very good pick. Addo-Carr, he didn't score any in the beginning of the year, but he has found the line quite a few times this year now, especially against the Broncos too last time he was at Suncorp. We'll go on to I have Bulldogs 1-12 as well, and I have Jeremy Marshall-King as anytime try scorer. We'll go on to Manly versus Broncos. The Broncos and Manly both coming off a win. The Broncos have got 3 wins in a row for the first time in quite a while. We'll go to Lachlan this time first. What do you think of this?
It should be another blockbuster. I've gone the Broncos, but only 1-12, due to being a close game. I don't know if they're going to come out firing or they're going to stay away. But I've gone Broncos 1-12, and I've gone Jordan Ricky for any time. He's due for one, so I've gone Ricky to go over time.
That's a very good pick. We'll go to Faraz next. Faraz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, looking back at this game a few weeks ago, who would have thought this would be that type of game? But you know what? I feel the Broncos are going to come out firing, and I feel the Broncos are going to win this 13+. I don't know. I just have this odd feeling. I think at Suncorp, I know it's a bold prediction, but I'm going to go the Broncos by 14 points here.
That is a bold prediction. We'll go to Davos next.
And my anytime try scorer, by the way, is Tamar Martin.
Tamar Martin, yes. Oh, he hasn't scored one yet, I think. So
nah, he hasn't scored. That would be great as well.
Bold pick would be a good, nice returning try for him, considering the circumstances. But we'll go to Davos next.
Yep, I've got the Broncos winning this 1-12. I think it will be a good battle. Both teams are in the hunt for the 8, and I think that both teams will make the 8. And I've got Katoni Staggs as my anytime try scorer. I think he's up against Morgan Harper, I think. So I think Talakai terrorized Harper. So I feel like Staggs will get the jump on Harper this time. So I've got Katoni Staggs.
Very good pick there. And we'll go to David. What are your predictions for this game?
Look, I reckon it's a flip of the coin from a neutral point of view, but I'm going to go with the Broncos 1-12. I've got Katoni Staggs, my anytime try scorer. I just think he'll be too strong for the man in defense.
Very good pick. I've also got the Broncos 1-12, and I've got Oates as an anytime try scorer, considering how good he is under the high ball at Suncorp. We'll move on to the next game, which is Warriors versus Rabbitohs. Now, this one, looking back a few weeks ago, I would have said the Rabbitohs win this by a big margin, but after what they've shown the last few weeks, Rabbitohs, I'm not quite confident with that. We'll start off with Lachlan this time. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one should be it's 50-50 again. Both teams are in shocking form. Warriors get pumped by 60. They can't beat the Sharks, who are down to 12 men. The Rabbits coming off a 20-point loss to the Broncos. But I have gone the Bunnies. I've gone the Rabbits 1-12, and I've got Cody Walker to score any time.
That's a safe pick. Well, not a safe pick. Cody Walker hasn't scored many this year, but it's quite a bold pick. But Cody Walker, he certainly does know how to find the try line when he is in good form. We'll go to David next for your predictions of Warriors versus Rabbitohs.
Yeah, man, I reckon it'll be close. I do agree with Lachlan there. I'm going to go to the Rabbitohs 1-12, though. I just think they'll be too strong. I've got Lachlan Ilias as my anytime try scorer. Just a bold prediction there.
That is quite a bold prediction. So we have both the halves as anytime try scorer picks. We'll go to Davos next. What are your predictions?
Yep, I've got the Bunnies winning this 1-12. And for my anytime try scorer, I've got Alex Johnston.
Alex Johnston, yep. I think the last 2 years he has been the leading try scorer. So that is quite a good pick. And we'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, usually these games turn out to be high scoring, especially the Rabbitohs turning on, but Reynolds is not there anymore. Look, I know both teams are in shocking form, and like this might be closer than what some people expect, but I'm going to go South 13 plus. I'm going to go South by 14. I'm going to go Cody Walker anytime try scorer. I have good feelings in score the lot today.
That is a good pick. And for myself personally, I've gone the Rabbitohs 1-12, but I have gone Reece Walsh, anytime try scorer. I have a feeling he will get a try in front of his home crowd of Brisbane. We'll go next to Titans versus Dragons. Personally, not a game I'm looking forward to too much, considering both teams haven't been too good this year. But we'll go to Faraz first this time. What are your predictions on this game?
Yeah, look, mate, the Titans in desperate need of a win. The Dragons, they got sent back to Earth last week, but I'm going to go to the Dragons because simply I thought they compete for the 8 and the Titans aren't. So I feel this is a much more important game for the Dragons. I'm going to go to Dragons 1-12. I'm going to go Dragons by 6, actually. I'm going to go Zach Lomax anytime try scorer.
Zach Lomax, that is a good choice. We'll go to Davos next.
Yep, I've got the Dragons winning this 1-12. Both teams, they're not in great form, and like Faraz said, the Dragons are competing for the 8 and the Titans aren't. I've got the Dragons skipper, Ben Hunt, as my anytime try scorer.
Ben Hunt, yeah, his home crowd of Brisbane, where he probably wanting to get a try back on the soil, even if it's not against the Broncos. But we'll go to Lachlan next.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Gold Coast are in Queensland. Dragons, they're probably the more informed team. But I have gone the Dragons, and I've gone the 1-12, and I've gone the man who I believe bagged a hat-trick last year against the Storm at Magic Round. I've got Ravalawa going over in the corner anytime.
Very good pick. Can Ravalawa show his magic again for another hat-trick, possibly to even get the Dragons home against the Titans? We'll go to David.
Yeah, I reckon St. George will get a much-needed win 1-12. However, I do think Jermaine Osako will cross over for a try. He's playing on the wing this week, and he's usually great there. So.
Very true. A lot of ex-Broncos. Yeah, a lot of ex-Broncos playing at Suncorp for this Magic Round. Well, yeah, I've gone Dragons 1-12, and I've gone Ben Hunt to score anytime. But moving on to possibly game of the round, Storm versus Panthers. This should be a blockbuster. Well, first we'll go to back to David. What are your predictions for this game?
Well, I reckon this is an absolute treat of a fixture, man. Penrith, Melbourne doesn't get much better. I'm going to go with Melbourne 1-12. I just think they'll be too strong even without Pappenhausen. However, I reckon Brian To'o will get his first try of the season. I'm pretty sure it's his first.
Very true. I'll go to Lachlan next.
Yeah, so I've gone basically the exact same as David, just the other team. I've actually picked Panthers 1-12, but I do believe it can. I reckon this game is golden point. I reckon this goes past the full-time siren, and I've got Brian To'o as well, scoring his first back from his injury.
Very true, very true. It could honestly be a really close game, and I honestly think it will be a really close game. We'll next go to Faraz. What are your predictions on this game?
Oh, if you asked me this a week before, this would have been tough to tip. But I think just with Ryan Pappenhausen out, I'm going to lead with the Panthers to win 1-12. And anytime try scorer, I am going to go. I reckon Brian To'o. Brian To'o.
He seems to be the pick of everyone for anytime try scorer. We'll go to Davos. Lastly, who are you tipping?
Yep, this is going to be probably game of the round. I can't wait. I've got the Storm 1-12. However, I believe that this will probably go somewhere to golden point. If not, I think it will be a 2-point margin. And my anytime try scorer, I've gone Jerome Hughes.
That's a good pick, Jerome Hughes. I mean, he has been in try scoring form of lately. I would have backed in Pappenhausen. I've gone Storm 1-12 as well. I probably would have Pappenhausen. He is a big factor being out. However, I think it will be very close. I could see a field goal coming into play here, and I've gone with the rest. I've gone Brian To'o as anytime try scorer. I think he's due for a try, and he seems to love scoring them at Suncorp. But moving on to the first game on Sunday, Sharks versus Raiders. The Sharks just coming off a big win with only 12 people for most of the game and 11 people for 10 minutes of the game, versus the Raiders, who have been struggling this season. We'll go to David first this time. What are your predictions on this game?
Yeah, unfortunately for Raiders fans, I reckon it'll be another blowout. Cronulla 13+. I reckon Nico Hines will shine at fullback, and I've got COC for Talakai as my anytime try scorer.
That's a good pick. He didn't score any tries on his last trip to Suncorp, but I bet he'll be willing to look to score some this time. We'll go to Davos next. What are your tips for this game?
Yep. I've got the Sharks winning 13+. I just believe that they'll be too strong for the struggling Raiders. And I've got Ronaldo Mulitalo as my anytime try scorer.
He is a good pick as anytime try scorer. I think they're the left side, Talakai and Mulitalo. But yeah, they could pile on a lot of points against the Raiders. I'll go to Faraz next. What are your tips for this game?
Yeah, look, no brain for me. Probably one of the mismatches of this round. I'm going to go the Sharks 30+. Raiders fans, it's been a sorry season so far, and expect that to continue on Sunday. I know the Raiders can turn up against the Sharks, but no, the Sharks are just in red hot form. I'm going to go Connor Tracy for a double.
Connor Tracy for a double. That's quite a bold call. We'll go over to Lachlan for the last tip of this game.
Yeah, I think Sharks put a number on the Raiders here. I've got the Sharks 13+, and the man who got his money up to Cronulla from Melbourne, where he shone the most, Nico Hines, anytime at fullback. I think he'll be roaming everywhere. I think he goes over for even maybe 2.
I've gone the exact same thing as you, Lachlan. I've gone Sharks 13+ with Nico Hines, anytime try scorer. We'll move on to the second last game, possibly the second game of the round. If not for, I reckon Manly and Broncos will be a really good close game as well. But yes, Roosters versus Eels. I could see this being an Eels blowout, or I could see this being a really close game. We'll go to Faraz first this time. What's your tips?
Yeah, like you said, mate. Yeah, this could either be a tight game or an Eels blowout. And look, I do think this will be a tight game, but I'm sorry, Roosters fans, but Parramatta will find a way to win in the end. I think they're just a better team right now. I think they'll just have enough maturing the side to win the game. I'm going to get Eels 1-12. Anytime try scorer, I am going to go I'm going to go Papali'i for a try anytime.
That's a good pick. Isaiah Papali'i. He has been in good form. People doubted that he'd be able to keep it up into this season, but he has signed with the Tigers, so he will be going to the Tigers next year. But for now, he has a chance to win a premiership at the Eels. I think the Eels, they've shown last week that they could be premiership contenders. We'll go to David. We'll go to David next. So what are your tips for this game?
Yeah, this one's probably my tightest game of the round besides Melbourne Penrith. All things considered, I reckon I'm going to go with Parramatta 1-12, and I've got Angus Crichton to go over a try anytime.
That was a good pick. We'll go to Davos next. Roosters versus Eels. What are your tips on this?
I've got the Eels winning this, but only just in a 1-12. Well, probably a harder game to tip than the others, but I think Eels will find a way to win. And I've got Dylan Brown as my anytime try scorer.
Brown, he's a good pick. I mean, that try last week against Penrith, he looked quite certain to score that try until he saw Brian To'o coming.
Can I say one thing as well? I think this game will tell us a lot about the Roosters. I think it will tell us whether they're really back into the hunt or they just picked a weak side last week, a bottom four side.
And we'll go to Lachlan next. What are your tips for this game?
This game was a flip of the coin for me. Roosters, they showed last week, even though it was against Gold Coast, they found a little bit of their touch. And the Eels, they're coming off a huge win against Penrith. But I've got Eels 1-12, and I've actually got the skipper, Clint Gutherson, to go over anytime.
Those are good picks. I might be the one and only here, but I've gone Eels 13+. I think it could be close for the first half, like Faraz said last week, I think with Panthers versus Eels. But I think in the second half, the Eels will just blow the Roosters away. And I'm hoping it's a close game, but I have a feeling that Eels will win this one 13+. And we'll move on to the final game of Magic Round, which is one I'm actually really excited to watch. Tigers versus Cowboys. I feel like this could, just like last game, just like the Roosters versus Eels game, it could be really close, or it could be a blowout to the Cowboys. We'll start with David first.
I reckon it'll be a close game. I'm going to go with the Cowboys 1-12, and I've got Ken Maumalo as my anytime try scorer.
That's a good pick. I think, he could return to his try scoring ways. I think in the team this week, I think no disrespect to him, but in the team, I think just because David Nofaluma copped quite a hefty concussion. But we'll go to Davos next.
Yep. Look, I know the Tigers have shown some good form lately, and they've started to be in the hunt. Sorry, not in the hunt, in the fight. But look, I just got the Cowboys winning this 13+. I believe they're in cracking form at the minute, and they're really stamping themselves as top 8 material. And I've got the inform Valentine Holmes as my anytime try scorer.
He is certainly a good pick. We'll go to Faraz next. What are your tips for this game?
Yeah, look, mate, the Tigers have shown a lot of improvement in the last few weeks, but this is a danger game for the Cowboys. I'm going to go to the Cowboys 13+, but this could easily hand into a West Tigers win because they've shown a lot of improvement over the last few weeks. But I'm going to go to the Cowboys by 14. I'm going to go Scott Drinkwater anytime try scorer and add a Jeremiah Nanai double in there if you want.
That's a good pick. Jeremiah Nanai, he is a freak under the high ball. And I think we'll go to Lachlan for the last tips of this round.
Yeah, so this one I've got Cowboys putting an absolute number on the Tigers. I don't see them showing up for Magic Round. Cowboys 13+, and I've actually got Val Holmes for a hat trick and to win his Queensland jumper this round.
Those are very good picks. I accidentally said last tips to you, but I will finish them off with I've got Cowboys 13+. Although I do think Tigers can pull another trick out of the hat like they did the last few years in Magic Round. I just don't see it happening, to be honest. I see the Cowboys flogging the Tigers, and I see Val Holmes as an anytime try scorer. I'll pass it over to Lachlan. He'll lead the news and some other things.
Yeah, thanks for that. We're heading to a little segment we've come up with in the last couple of days. We'll keep it short and sweet, but we're going to go through each person to pick a spine of players' current form so far this year. So each person will pick a fullback, hooker, a halfback, and a 5'8". And we'll start with Davos, who his spine would be.
Yep. First of all, I will say that this was very hard to pick, but I'm pretty sold on my selections. I've gone Ryan Pappenhausen at fullback. I just think he's been outstanding for the Storm. At my 6, I got Cameron Munster. I think he's just been awesome this year, especially after last year, and he's really showing why he's one of the best players in the comp. At number 7, I've actually gone Daly Cherry Evans. I think he's been very good this year. He's had a very good kicking game. He's really steered Manly's attack around. And at number 9, I've got Harry Grant. I mean, what can you say? The guy's a freak, and there's a reason he's number 9 for Queensland.
Yeah, 100%. We'll send it over to Noah now for his spine so far this season.
Yeah, I've gone similar to Davos. I've gone Ryan Pappenhausen fullback. Obviously, had one of his best years in the fullback jersey. I've gone Cameron Munster as the 5'8". He's just been a freak. There's rumours he might be going elsewhere, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'll go to the 9 first. I've gone Harry Grant in the 9, so it's all Melbourne players so far. I just think Harry Grant, he's shown why Melbourne wanted him. And in the 7 jersey, I think this might be a smoky for some people. Well, I've gone Adam Reynolds. I just think if he was in any other team but Broncos, who've just come off a third last spot, then I reckon he'd probably be the informed halfback in the comp. But yeah, I definitely think Adam Reynolds halfback of the year so far for me personally.
Yeah, 100%. I think Reynolds, he's not really a smoky because he would be up there for the top halfback this year, but there's definitely, I think, a couple above him. But we'll send it over to David now, who his spine would be.
Yeah, I think I've gone with a common one at fullback, Ryan Pappenhausen. I think he's having his best season to date. Despite his injury, he's been playing brilliantly. My number 6, and in my opinion, the undisputed best 5'8" in the competition, Cameron Munster. Just been absolutely brilliant. In my opinion, any team would be lucky to have him. At number 7, I reckon he's moved into the 7 role very well. Nico Hines has been brilliant since his move from Melbourne. And number 9, I have gone with a bit of a smoky here, Reid Marnie. I think his performance has been very consistent to date. And he's put the Eels with 6 wins and 3 losses to start the season.
Yeah, Reid Marnie, he's another one. He'd probably be the top 3 hooker this year. You probably have to go Grant, Appy, Coruscant, and Marnie, even though he's off to the Dogs at the end of this year. But we'll send it over to Faraz now for who his spine would be.
Yeah, look, fullback Ryan Pappenhausen, he's easily having a blind of the season this year. 5'8" Cameron Munster, his form has been unreal. Carries that on for Queensland. I reckon they've got a good shout of winning the series. My halfback, it's a tough one, but I am going to go Adam Reynolds. I think to lift where the Broncos have been from the last 2 seasons into like top 8, I think that's a huge achievement itself. And hooker, I think this guy would outburst Damien Cook for the number 9 for Australia in the test. I'm going to go Harry Grant. He's been simply sensational.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll finish mine off. Fullback Ryan Pappenhausen, which is common. Hooker Harry Grant, which you got to pick. 5'8" Cameron Munster, and at halfback I've got Daly Cherry Evans. I just believe that Cherry Evans, he's just been sensational this year for Manly. And that wraps up the spine talk. We'll head over to the news now. The first topic is a pretty big one coming out of this week. At the start of the year, we heard from Justin Holbrook that the master plan was Sexton and Brimson at 6 and 7 and Campbell at 1. But it's come out through the week. Kieran Foran is a Gold Coast Titan from 2023 onwards. So it means someone out of those 3 has to get dropped. I believe it's Sexton who goes back to Q Cup, and I believe Kieran Foran and Brimson are in the halves. But we'll see what the other boys think. Faraz, what do you think of the Kieran Foran signing?
Yeah, look, he's coming next year, and I think he'll be 33 next year. Look, I think Sexton's their man going forward. They've obviously put a lot of trust with him. That's the reason why they let Fogarty go, because they put themselves into like a lot of trust and they're going to build the team around Sexton. So look, I'll probably do the same as you, Lachlan, but just based on those reasons, you have to have 4 and 5'8", and Toby Sexton number 7. I think just let him grow the season, Sexton, and then see what he can do with a master guy like Kieran Foran, who's got a lot of experience, coming off a successful team. So I'll put 4 and 5'8", Toby Sexton 7. Unfortunately, Brimson would miss out, but for me, he's a fullback, not a 5'8".
Yeah. It's a big call to leave Brimson out, considering he's signed there till 2026, I believe, on the big money. But we'll see what happens next year, won't we? We'll move on to Noah now. What his thoughts on the Kieran Foran to the Gold Coast Titans signing is?
Yeah, I'll just keep it very short here. I reckon Foran has to play 6, and I reckon Sexton has to play 7, due to the fact that they're building their club around him now. They got rid of Fogarty for him, so they sort of have to stick on that route. And I think fullback, obviously, it's a toss up between Campbell and Brimson. I'd probably go Campbell. I'd go Campbell at fullback for now. And I'd probably play Brimson in the 14. I think he would be on quite a bit of money, but I think once Foran leaves, I reckon Brimson goes back into the 6 jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what Holbrook does with his 6, 7, and 1. But I believe Sexton misses out. But who knows? We'll move it on to David now. What his thoughts on the Kieran Foran signing is?
Yeah, actually, I pretty much completely agree with Noah on this one. I think you have to have all 4 of them in the starting 17. I'm going to go with Brimson at fullback just because he's played fullback for Queensland. But I just think he is a quality fullback, and people do forget that. I think you have to have Foran and Sexton in the halves, and then I'd play at 14 Jaden Campbell to bring that spark on the pitch when it's needed.
Yeah. You can really shuffle any of them around. They've really got heaps of room to move, but it just comes down to the business next year. And we'll send it over to Davos for his last thoughts on the Kieran Foran signing.
Yeah, it's just fun. I personally would have Campbell at fullback. I'd have Foran in the 5'8". I'd have Sexton at 7. I just believe that Sexton is building the Titans are building their club around him, and I feel like he'll be a star in the future. But he's just slowly getting used to NRL level. And I'd have Brimson in the 14 jersey. The reason I'd have that is because he can provide spark off the bench, and he can cover a number of positions. Like, people say he plays fullback, which is his main position, but people also forget that he did play centres in Origin when Val Holmes got injured and they had to switch Hammer from centre to wing, and Brimson did a very good job on Tom Trbojevic. So who knows? Maybe they could play him in the centres, but I personally have Brimson at 14, provide that spark off the bench. But it is an interesting scenario.
Yeah, 100% agreed, and we'll move it on quickly. We'll keep this one short and sweet, but I'll throw this question at you. List your top 3 coaches under the most pressure at this current moment in the season. We'll send it to David first. Who do you think is the most top 3 under pressure?
Well, I know Fox does this segment, and they're a bunch of spastics, so I'll give my opinion. I reckon under the most pressure would have to be Adam O'Brien for the Knights. I just look at the position they're in with the roster they have. It's not a brilliant roster, but it's definitely not a wooden spoon roster, I wouldn't say. I do think Trent Barrett's obviously under a fair bit of pressure, considering the amount of signings he's made pre-season. He really does need to step it up heading into the next few games, especially with the winnable fixtures I've got. And for the last one, I have to go with Justin Holbrook here. I just think, once again, like Newcastle, they've got a decent roster on paper. I'm looking at it right now. They've got some quality players in there, and the fact they are in the bottom 3 is a bit worrying to me.
Yeah, my 3 would be very much the same as yours. Noah, who's your top 3 coaches under pressure?
Well, I think I'll work my way down from first to third. I've got in first. I've got Trent Barrett. I don't think he's an NRL worthy coach. That's if Bulldogs end up with a spoon this year, that's back-to-back seasons with a spoon. I think he's the most under pressure. I think in second last I've got Adam O'Brien. Just solely for the fact that obviously Knights are 16th this year. They didn't look, they didn't look too convincing, but and I think tied for third for me is Justin Holbrook and actually Ricky Stewart. I think Ricky Stewart's he's a chance to lose his job. That's all I'll say.
Big call. I don't think Sticky leaves, but and that's the thing. The comp's short of halfbacks, and they're also short of coaches. There's not many coaches out there to pick from at the moment. We'll send it over to Faraz. Who's your top three?
Yeah, look, first is Trent Barrett. Simple as that. It's a better roster, and they're still finding themselves in the bottom four. I think that's unacceptable. Second, Justin Holbrook. You've made the finals, and then you're gonna just drop off like that and potentially finish bottom four. That's a big fail in my eyes. And number three, I'm gonna go Adam O'Brien. Simple as that. Newcastle, they've got the spin 3 times in a row. They're trying to build for something, and they're just going 10 steps backwards. It's unacceptable. The fans are feeling the dreaded. And look, yeah, Adam O'Brien's in serious danger of losing his job. And as to what Noah says about Ricky Stewart, look, personally, he would have been sacked ages ago, but I think he's just the heart in Canberra. I think he'll stay. I think they don't want him gone.
Yeah. It's a big call with Ricky, but we'll see what pans out. I think Raiders can come back a little bit this year, but not heaps. And Davos, who's your top three?
Yeah. At number one in the hot seat, I've got Trent Barrett. Look, I don't believe he's an NRL coach either. I mean, the fact that he had 3 halfbacks in the opening 5 rounds. I mean, which club does that? Who does that? And he's got a better roster, and they're still in the bottom 4. I mean, I don't think he's an NRL coach. In second, I've got Adam O'Brien. I mean, he's done really nothing. He has not helped with any signings to help Kalen Ponga, and I also believe that they're not. It's not a roster that's bottom 4. Simple as that. Justin Holbrook. I mean, like Faraz said, how do you make finals and then bow out and finish not top 4? Sorry, bottom 4. It's just as simple as that for me.
100%. And we'll send it over to a one-word answer. Throw one player at me. Cam Murray out injured means he's probably most likely out for the Blues. Who's the player that you would give Murray's jumper to fill in? We'll start with David.
Well, Murray plays in the second row, correct?
Yeah, for Blues he plays second row. Yeah,
I would say, even if it's off the bench, despite his ill discipline on the pitch, I think Pangai Jr. has been brilliant this season. I do think he deserves a shot.
Yep, big call. Faraz, who would you give the second row jumper to?
I'm going to give it to Tariq Sims. I reckon he's been really good this season. And he's played Origin before.
He would definitely be in contention, that's for sure. Davos, who would you give to?
I'd actually give it to Liam Martin. I just believe that with all the Penrith players in the New South Wales team, that he'll form a good connection and he'll pick it up pretty easily.
100%. Noah, who would your player be for the last thing of episode 3?
He's proved himself last year. I reckon he deserves it again. Tariq Sims, he may not be doing good at club level, but he deserves the blue jersey.
Yeah, 100%. I would probably go with Sims as well. He proved himself last year. He's ready for the Origin arena. But we'll see if he can back it up again this year. That wraps us up here from the Final Siren podcast for episode 3, leading up for the preview of Magic Round. Going to be an epic weekend. If you got tickets, very jealous. I've actually got COVID at the moment, so at home. But make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and check us out on Instagram and TikTok. The content keeps coming. And we'll see you next episode of the review of Magic Round. Go the Broncos.